I personally spent a lot of time on relationships with the key customers that supply chain serves. I spent a lot of time focusing on key suppliers that would enable growth. NiSource, we're not the biggest fish in the pond, but what I want to have happen is when I call and say I need a transmission structure, they take my call and they say, how many do you need, Johnny? And the second piece I would add to that is getting them to trust us. Because if you're part of the decision making, if you're part of trying to help shape a better outcome, then you have to have trust and be a respected voice at the table. I tell our leaders in supply chain a lot, everything starts with relationship, which leads to trust, which leads to belief. Supply chain is a relatively, I think, kind of new thing. I mean, I'm a mechanical engineer, and like I said, there wasn't a supply chain degree. So there are various views because of what great supply chain is. I don't think there's one shared vision of what a great supply chain is. So you have to educate people. You have to speak to the individual. You have to speak to the organization. You have to speak to different levels in the organization, from the mechanic on the shop floor or the gas tech all the way to the C-suite. Once everybody's educated on the business, then that gives you that trust that we talked about. Now understand why they're doing what they're doing or why we're seeing this change in the business. It will get the enterprise to behave and execute one way. I firmly believe supply chain is one of the ways to bring a lot of organizational discipline to any organization, because you can't buy it this way or use your own favorite supplier. Because at the end of the day, I'm looking at all 3,500 of our suppliers, and I'm trying to leverage that supplier base, that supplier network, for the good of the enterprise. And if I say we're going to have a category strategy to buy X widget this way from these suppliers because we've negotiated agreements that gives us the terms and conditions and the cost and the risk management that we want, then I need everybody to do that. That's the organizational discipline that I'm talking about. If you don't have the right relationship, nobody's going to bring you in early enough. So you have to really have the relationship so people want you to be a part of the outcome. And the beauty of supply chain being in the beginning, we get a chance to help shape the outcome.